Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Brian Miller, and I am the Vice President of Strategic Growth and Education Outreach at Wonder Workshop. And we are so excited for you to be joining us as we celebrate Computer Science Education Week today. So, welcome to all of the students and teachers from all across the world. We have hundreds and hundreds of teachers and thousands of students joining us today as we are streaming and going through a computer activity that we are going to be doing together in class today. So what I suggest to make this as smooth as possible is you have an option where you can watch and follow along, or you can watch, learn some of the things that I'm going to be showing you, and then you can take that and do that after this video is over. So we highly suggest that you are ready to go with a device in front of you. We are going to be using the virtual robot today, so we are not going to be using my friend Dash here. However, anything that we are doing today, you can take and you can do with your physical Dash robot. The beauty of what we're going to be doing, though, is you're going to be able to do all of this on screen and then test everything out, because we have unlocked for this week for you our virtual robot that you can enjoy all week long. So you will have this week and the weekend to enjoy the virtual robot. Normally the virtual robot is a part of our Make Wonder subscription, but during Computer Science Education Week every year, we turn it on for you to enjoy so you can see some of the features that we have available to you. So we're excited to get started. So what we're going to be doing is you're going to want to have a couple of things prepared with you. The first thing is I suggest, to make things easy, is to have a sheet of paper and a pencil or a pen ready to go, because you'll want to be drawing out for yourself before you actually take the code. You'll want to draw out just a little bit of maybe what you're planning to do ahead of time, which is always really important because we want to be able to design and then actually test. So we're going to be doing that on screen today, but we recommend also, should you want to have a piece of paper and a pencil in front of you, it might make it a little bit easier for you to think about what it is that you want to do. I oftentimes take lots of notes and draw things. All across my desk, I have tons of these Post-it notes with just little notes or ideas or suggestions, and I have them plastered up across my screen here in front of me. And that's just one of the ways that I'm able to think through something that I'm working on. So for you, that may be really helpful. So if you want to have some paper and a pencil ready to go next to you, I encourage that. But what you're going to need today, after we're done, or if you're following along, you're going to need a device that is either an iPad, or you're going to want to have a device that is a Chrome browser. So if you're using an iPad, you're going to be pairing to the physical Dash robot, as we didn't turn on the virtual robot for our iPad devices. But if you have a physical Dash robot, you can do all the stuff that we're doing today with the physical Dash robot. Now, for those of you that want to try this virtually and on screen, all you're going to need to do is open up a web browser, and you're going to go to code.makewonder.com. So on screen, your teachers can write on their whiteboard code.makewonder.com, and that will take you to where we are here. So you see my screen, you can see at the top I have code.makewonder.com, and it takes you to this page where we're able to choose between Blockly or Blockly Pro. Now, for those of you that are new to this, if you have never used Wonder Workshop's Blockly or Blockly Pro before, I'm going to give a little bit of an example of what each do, so you know which one we're going to be using today, which is Blockly. But Blockly allows us to drag and drop blocks that allow us to create a sequence that Dash will follow on screen or with your physical robot, and that will allow us to make our robot come to life with some simple coding, some simple on-screen sequencing that we're going to be doing. Now, Blockly Pro is for advanced students, and it only works with a physical Dash robot for now. But what you're able to do is you can do the block coding, but you can also go from block programming to JavaScript programming, where you are actually typing in real computer language. So That's a little bit more advanced. That's something you can go and play with should you want to explore more of that. But today we're going to be focusing on Blockly. So step number 1, code.makewonder.com. Step number 2, we are going to click on the Blockly icon right here. And when we click on that, it'll take us into Blockly. Now, for you, you will not have a connection to Make Wonder. Make Wonder is a subscription that you can use to get other features that your teacher can turn on for you, like different lessons and activities and virtual challenge cards. We're going to be using Blockly offline today. So if we click Use Blockly offline, it will take us in without having to have a Make Wonder account. Now, because we turned on the virtual robot for you, there's nothing else that you will need to do to access the virtual robot. So you can go in, and we're going to talk about 3 of the different areas. The first one is puzzles. Puzzles lets you go in, and this is where you can jump in and you can explore the virtual world of Dash and learn some lessons and activities, and it will walk you through how to do different coding activities. That's something that you can explore all this week because we have unlocked it for you, and as you can see, we have turned on the virtual robot for you to use. Going back, we are going to now talk about My Projects. This is where we're going to be working out of today because this gives us the ability to use a blank project. So in order to do that, we'll click on blank projects. But before I do that, if you were a subscriber to Make Wonder, you would be able to go in here and have assignments and challenge cards and lessons that your teacher assigned to you in here. We are going to skip that, and you will not be seeing that on yours available to you because we've unlocked a free version with the virtual robot. So to use what we're going to be doing today, the first step is we're going to click in My Projects. So let's do that. Let's click in My Projects. And automatically you might see some stuff in here if you've played in here before, but we're going to be starting from scratch. So we're going to click Create New. And when we click Create New, we want to choose what is automatically selected first, which is the blank project. So let's click on blank project and click on Create to start that blank project. All right, now when I've done that, I am automatically brought into a blank screen here. All that we see on screen is this little When Start button. This is where we will be stacking everything below to make our code happen. We also can see that we have our virtual Dash robot to start with. You can view that with a overhead view if you want to by playing around with the views. You have the ability to turn on or off sound on your device, and you can also jump in and see the virtual world full screen. And when it's time to play and test out our robot, we're going to do that so we get a better view of what's happening. So we can close that out by clicking this bottom right-hand corner. All right, today we are going to be having a dance party. So that means we are going to be building some code that allows us to make a little dance for Dash. Now, there are some pre-coded dance moves in here that I'm going to show you that you can access, but I want you to get creative with how you're going to make your Dash dance. And the whole idea is to make Dash dance for probably about 15 to 20 seconds. So that means we're going to be adding in a bunch of different blocks to make that happen. We're also going to be learning some words like loops that will teach us and allow us to create some code that repeats itself over and over again. So we're going to learn a little bit more about that in a minute or two. But let's get started with making Dash move. So the first thing that we want to do is we need Dash to move from its original starting position. So we can see Dash is starting right here. We want Dash to move from one square to another square. So how will we do that? Well, on the left-hand side, we have all of our different blocks that we can pull from. So the first one that we're going to do to make Dash move is we're going to come over here to Drive. When we click on the Drive bin, we are given a whole bunch of different choices. So we're going to go through a couple of these so you can see what they do. So the first one, we're going to make dash move forward in its dance. So let's take the forward block and we're going to drag it and snap it right underneath when start. And you'll know that it snaps because if we try to move the when start, everything moves along with it. That's how you can test that everything is connected the way that it should be. So now when I hit the play button in the bottom left-hand corner, we should see dash move forward 30 centimeters. So let's give that a try. All right, so dash moved forward 30 centimeters. Let's test it again. Dash moves forward, resets its spot, moves forward 30 centimeters. Perfect. So that works well. Now, in a dance and a line dance, you typically go forward, then backwards, then forward, then backwards. So we're going to do that. So let's give that a try. So we're going to take the drive bin, and we're going to now move backwards 30 centimeters to start where we started. So let's go and hit play and see what happens now. Dash is driving forwards, dash is driving backwards. We got the first part of our dance down. Very cool. So let's have dash turn to the left and then turn to the right and then come back forward again. So we're going to do dash turn to the left. Let's see what happens when we hit play. Dash drives forward, dash drives backwards, dash turns to the left. So now we're going to have dash turn to the right to face forward again. So what's happening is because dash is now facing sideways, in order for dash to return back to its original location, we have to have dash turn right one time. So let's play that and see and test if this works. Dash drives forwards, dash drives backwards, dash turns left, dash comes back to the center. So now we want dash to turn right again. So let's do drive, turn right. So let's test this out. Dash drives forwards, dash drives backwards, dash turns left, dash turns right, dash turns right. And now what do we have to do to make dash come back to its original starting position? What do we think we're going to need to do? If you said turn left, then that is correct. So we're going to have dash turn left. All right. So let's test this out. And the idea now is dash is going to go forward, backwards, turn left, come back to the center, turn right, come back to the center. So let's test this out and see if we have the starting part of our dance. Dash drives forward, dash drives backward, dash turns left, dash turns right, dash turns right, dash turns left, and we are back to the beginning. So whenever we do a dance, we repeat that pattern over and over and over again. And that's what gets the whole movement that we're doing in a dance. And if you've ever done any sort of line dancing or danced, you typically have your one move. My one move is the shovel or the shopping cart or the light bulb, but we do that over and over and over again. So we are able to have it repeat and become a move throughout an entire song. So how can we do this with dash? Well, one way we can do this is we can literally just redo everything all over again. And that's not the best way to do this. That's not how we want to be really strong with our code. Our code wants to be clean, and if we just keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again, and we're just doing that over and over and over again with all the same line of code, our code's going to be like 5 miles long if we're trying to get dash to do a 15 to 20 second dance, right? And that's a lot of work, and there's a lot of room for mistakes. So what can we use to make this code repeat over and over and over again? Well, we have a block that we use to do that. And in our control here, we have a repeat block, and it allows us to choose how many times we are able to repeat. So this is called a loop. Let's learn a little bit more about how loops work with this video.
Let's explore loops in coding.
Yeah, what are loops?
Great question. Loops are when a sequence of code is repeated. You use a repeat block to make a loop. The code continues to repeat until the code you set tells it to. If you, the programmer, set a code to repeat 5 times, the code will repeat 5 times and then stop the loop. A loop is sometimes referred to as a repeating code.
What if you only want the code to repeat 3 times?
So happy you asked. You, the programmer, would set the repeat to be 3 times. The code you have there will then repeat 3 times instead of the 5 you had before. You are telling the computer what to do with the code. For example, many of the things that we do every day can be done by a loop. If we want to repeat an action that is the exact same, we can put it on repeat or loop. So, if you have a song you love, you can put it on repeat X number of times. If you set it to repeat 3 times, that same song will play 3 times in a row. You created a loop for that song.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
As you now see, loops can save a programmer from having to write the same code over and over. Ready, set, learn, play code. Let's go.
All right, so now that we've learned a little bit more about loops, we're ready to give this a try ourselves. And as we saw in the video, we are able to add in this repeat block that we can then choose how many times we want this to repeat. So let's give this a try. So we're going to take this repeat block, and if we leave this here, all that stuff is outside of what we need to be stacking inside. And if we saw in the video, we had to put all of those items inside of this repeat block. So if we take this and we move this to underneath when start, everything shifts down. And now we can take the first block that we have, and it will drag all of those items together. It will group them together. And if we put it inside of the repeat block, now the repeat block grows around those items, which is awesome. That just made it really easy for me to create a group of actions that can repeat multiple times. So we have this set to repeat 3 times. You can change this. Let's repeat it 2 times to start. So we're going to change that number from 3 to 2 just by pressing this little minus button. And now it says when I hit start, it's going to play through here, and then it's going to come back again to the top and play through it again. So let's give this a test. And you'll be able to see this in your code. And one thing that I want you to watch carefully as we're going through this is you will see where the code is with a little green button, a little green circle that will fill in this area right here. So we'll know exactly where we're at. So let's give this a try. Let's hit play and see how this works. Dash drives forward, dash drives backward, dash turns left, dash turns right, dash turns right, dash turns left, and now it's going to repeat. Dash drives forward, dash drives backward, dash turns left, dash turns right, dash turns right, dash turns left, back to the starting position, and done. So now we have successfully made the first part of our dance, which is really cool. It makes it easy for us to go in and have it do multiple things at once by using this repeat block. And this repeat block is powerful. We can do a lot of really cool things with this. We can increase the number of times. We can add more repeat blocks with other things that we're going to have dash do, which we're going to do right now. So the first thing that we're going to do for this second part of the dance is we are going to come over to the control block. And now we are going to say repeat 3 times. And we're going to drag it and we're going to drop it right underneath here. So now we have nothing in here. It's blank. We have to put blocks into it this time. So the first time that we did this, we took all the blocks, we came up with our dance, and we added it inside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just add blocks inside of this repeat block so we can just let it run. So here we're going to now, dash has moved forward. Now we're going to have dash do a little bit of head nodding. All right, so we're going to have dash move its head to the beat. So we're going to do that by using the look block. So if we say look left, dash is going to look to the left. We can test this out by taking all of this and disconnecting it from when start. And we can take this block here and we can drag it underneath. And all we're doing right now is we're just saying we want to test out a small part of our code. And by disconnecting it, we've left it over here so we can bring this back over whenever we're ready at any time and test it out. So we're working with just smaller amount of code right now. So we're saying when we hit start, dash will repeat and look left 3 times. That really won't do much because all dash's head will do is just kind of stay to the left. So let's add in here a look block. And now we can change this by sliding this over to look right. So it's going to be look left 90 degrees, look right 90 degrees. And that means dash is just turning its head from one side to the other side. So let's take that. We have look left, look right. Let's play this. And it's going to do it 3 times because that's how many times the repeat is set for. So let's hit start and see what happens. Dash looks left, dash looks right, dash looks left, dash looks right. Just really, really fast, right? Just over and over, kind of like it's shaking its head no. And that's not really what I want to go for here. I want to change this a little bit. So it's just dash looks left, comes back to the center, dash looks right, comes back to the center. So that means we need to add 1 additional block. So we can take this look left, we can drop it right in the middle, and let's take the second block, click on it, and we are going to have dash look forward at 0. All right, so that should give us the effect that we're looking for. Dash will look left, come back forward, dash will look right, come back forward, and repeat that 3 times. So let's give that a try and see. Dash looks left, comes forward, forward, left, up. Okay, this is why we troubleshoot. This is why we test things out. So now what's happening is when I hit look left and it goes forward and right, it comes right back to look left. So instead of it going look left, center, right, it goes left really fast. And then it will go center, right, and then it'll go left really fast, and then center and right. So that means we need to add another block in here. So we're going to take the look block. We're going to come over to look left. We're going to drop one underneath the right. And this time, the last block for this sequence is look forward. Because now when I say look left, come forward, look right, come forward, look left, look forward, look right, come forward. So it'll then repeat and it'll look a lot more natural. So let's play this and let's see what happens. Look left, look forward, right, forward, left, forward, right, forward, left, forward, right, forward. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. So now let's build this. So now we've taken the first part and we can take this block and put it right underneath when start, and everything will kind of shift down and snap underneath. So we've built the first part of our song. It's going to move forward and then come backwards and do its little moving dance, and then it's going to do its head bobbing dance. So let's give that a try. Dash goes forward, dash goes backward, dash turns left, dash goes right, dash goes right, dash goes left. Now the head bobs. Dash looks up. We have to do this 2 times. So it's a repeat for 2 times. Coming around again. Turn left, turn right, turn left, back to the starting position. And now head bobs. Look to the left, forward, right, forward, left, forward, right, forward, left, forward, right, forward. Awesome. We've built the next part of the dance. Let's add another set of repeats. So we're going to do another round of repeating, and we're going to choose repeat 3 times. And remember, we can disconnect all of this. We can drag this repeat underneath the when start, And now we're only working with that small bit of code while everything else is still built and just waiting for us to reconnect it. So remember, you can disconnect and reconnect your code so you can test smaller parts of it out. So now we've done movements with moving and driving. We've done looking, and now we are going to do lights. So let's go into our lights, and this time we're going to choose all lights. And we're going to keep this one simple. The first one is all lights are red. Now we're going to go in and we're going to take all lights, and we're going to say all lights are green. We're going to take another light. We're going to say all lights are blue. We're going to take another light. We're going to say all lights are orange. We're just going to do every color here. We might as well. We have them. Let's do it. All lights are yellow. And all lights are purple. Now, the white means all lights would just turn on white. Black means the lights would just go out. So we're not going to play with those. We're just going to use the colors here. You can choose whatever you want in your dance. This is my dance. You can make this however you want to make it. So now that I've done this, let's test this out. It's going to repeat it 3 times. It's going to do its lights. So now we can see it's going through all the lights and shuffling through them. It's going to do it 3 times. Perfect. All right, now let's take this block over here, the repeat 2 times. Let's drag it underneath when start. That means everything will just kind of snap down underneath in order. Let's play this and see what happens. Drive forward, backwards, dash turns left, dash turns right, dash turns right, dash turns left. Now we're going to repeat that. Dash drives forward, dash drives backwards, dash turns left, dash turns right, dash turns right, dash turns left, back to the center, and now head bobs. Look left, forward, right, forward, left, forward, right, forward, left, forward, right, forward, lights. Going through all the lights 3 times. And now it's last time through. And we have the part of our dance. We're going to do one more part because we already have dance moves that Dash can do in here. And we can choose animations. And if we choose Dash Dance Confident, Dash will add a little bit of a dance at the end, but there are others that you can choose from. And if we choose the word confident, we have a couple of different dances that you can pick from in here. I'm a fan of the confident dance, just the way Dash struts. I'm going to leave it at that. So now let's hit play. We're also going to come full screen and we're going to see what the entirety of Dash's dance looks like. So let's come over here. We're going to click on full screen. And now we have here the play button that we can click and we can see Dash perform full screen for us. Let's go. Dash drives forward, dash drives backwards, dash turns left, dash turns right, dash turns right, dash turns left, dash drives forward, dash drives backward, dash turns left, dash turns right, dash turns right, dash turns left. Now we're going to do head bobs, left, forward, right, left, forward, right, forward, left, forward, right, forward, and all the lights. 2, going through once, going through twice, going through the 3rd time, and now Dash's confident dance. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with that, we have successfully made Dash dance. So what I want you to be trying when you're doing this is I want you, especially if you want to go home and you want to try this as well, put this to music and come up with your own Dash dance routine. And you can create Dash dancing to some of your favorite songs, and we would love to see what you come up with. So if your teachers want to share videos with us on our social media at Wonder Workshop. You can visit our Instagram, our Facebook, our TikTok, tag Wonder Workshop in any of those. We want to see what types of dance songs and dance moves you came up with using loops. Now, I'm going to share one little extra thing that we can do here. It's one of my little tricks for making Dash do some extra moves that you might not be aware of. We have the drive forward or the set wheel speed block. Now, this one allows us to come in here and set the speed where if we say drive left forward at a normal speed, right forward at a normal speed, that means Dash's wheels will just move forward at the same speed. But what happens if we make one a little bit faster than the other? So if we increase this wheel to move a little bit faster and set this one to move maybe a little bit slower, and we hit play, let's see what happens to Dash. Dash creates a spinning move. Now, what does that mean that we can do with this? We can go in and we can make Dash twirl around and spin in circles in our dance. So we can also make Dash go backwards with one wheel really fast and forwards really slow and see what happens. So now Dash is spinning around backwards. So you can create spinning moves in here as well. So it's not just forward, backwards. You can set the wheel speed to go faster or slower. If we set it to be really slow and this one moves forward really fast, it will make a wider curve for us. So you can see Dash's circle is going to be bigger. If we set this to slow and very slow, now Dash's turn is going to be much tighter and slower. So you can play around with that and with the repeats to make Dash spin in circles at a speed or at a distance. How wide you want Dash to spin all by yourself. So you can play with that and throw that in there too. So that's one of my little tricks that I like to do as well. One other little trick for my friends that are a little bit older, we have what is called functions and variables. So in here, we have the ability for us to call a function. So we're going to go in and we're just going to do a function real quick. This is a little bit more advanced, so if you want to take a break and sit back and watch, but for some of my older students that are participating, we have ways that we can simplify these dance moves. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this function block and we're going to put it inside of this repeat block. So this is Dash moving forwards and backwards, and we can take this function block and we can call this move. All right, so now we have this code that's sitting over here called move. I'm going to take this one. We're done with it. I can take it, drag it all the way to the bottom. We're going to drop it in the trash. We're not going to use it. Now, we have this one over here, which was the looking. So I'm going to come over here to the start, and I'm going to choose a function. I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to call this function nod, because that's Dash moving its head and nodding. And the last one is lights. So we're going to take the start, we're going to come over to function, we're going to drop that in here, and we're going to call this one lights. All right, so this is what's cool about functions. These can stay over here, and we can call over to these blocks and pull them and bring them into our code that we're going to create without having to recreate this a bunch of times. So in a song, let's say you have a 4-minute song playing, and we want to do these steps over and over again, but maybe mix and match them a little bit, but we don't want to write all of that code every single time. This is where I can use the function. So now if I come over here to start and I choose call, I can put the call move in here. And this says when I see this block, call move, it will do what is in here. It'll do this 2 times. So if I hit play, call move, it comes over here and look, it's doing the motion. It's playing through this for me. So now I'm going to stop this because it's going to do it 2 times. Now I can say call, and if I click on the word move, I can say nod. If it lets me. There we go, nod. So now, when I hit play, it will play this block here. Then it will come over and play this block. And then I can do call lights. If it lets me. There we go, call lights. So now it's going to do call move, call nod, call lights. And guess what I can do with that? I can now switch and move things around. So if I want the lights to come first, then I want it to move, then I want it to nod, then I want it to do the confident dance, it will do that. So ready? Let's test this out and see. It's going to do the lights first. So lights are the first thing playing. Now it's going to go from lights to move. And now it's doing the move. And then when it's done doing the move, it's going to come over here to the nod. And I can do that, and I can add those blocks as many times as I want. So if I hit stop and I go to start and I go to call move, now it's going to start back with moving again. And I can add these blocks, these call blocks, over and over and over again without having to rewrite any of my code. So lots of advanced stuff there. You can play around with that. I wanted to show that to some of my advanced students because they're the ones that are going to want to play beyond just building a simple loop. But now that we've done that, you have the ability to come in here, design your own dances, and make Dash come to life. And don't forget, you can pair your regular physical robot to this as well, and you can have Dash do this in person. So imagine building an entire dance routine to your favorite song, moving things around to make sure that it matches with the song that you want, and then you can perfect your dance moves. So we encourage you to give this a try. Again, you have all weekend to try this, and we hope that you have enjoyed going through today's lesson on loops with a little bit of functions in there as well for some of our more advanced students. I encourage you to play this back and be sure to, again, share what video you have created with us so we can see what you came up with during Hour of Code. We would love to see the dances that you've come up with and have created. So please share those to our social media at Wonder Workshop. You can tag us at Wonder Workshop as well if you post it on yours, and then we can see that. We would love to see what you've created. We hope that you enjoy using the virtual robot all this week. You have access to it. You can go home. You can play with this, and we would love to see what you come up with. Thank you to all of our teachers and parents that are with us today, watching with your children or your students. This is something that you can continue to explore and use. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for a free account to Make Wonder, you can do so by visiting our website, www.makewonder.com. In the top right-hand corner, you can sign up and you can get some access to some of the additional features, such as managing your classroom, giving the ability for your students or your children to save their work inside of Make Wonder. And then with a paid subscription, you have full year access to the virtual robot, along with all sorts of different coding pathways, including the video that you saw on loops. We have many more in there that teach your students and children how to code using the platform. Challenge cards, math activities, all sorts of different things that you can use and access to use in your classroom to make coding fun. So thank you all for joining us for our Computer Science Education Week lesson. We look forward to doing this every year. I look forward to doing this every year and having an opportunity to connect with all of you and give you an opportunity to share the work that you've created. So please be sure to share that feedback with us. And again, happy coding, happy Computer Science Education Week, and we look forward to seeing all of the great things that you create. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.